Hello, it is good to see everybody today. It is the bewitching hour. Time to turn some wood, spin some wood. We'll see if it gets round or not. I don't plan on it being round, but it always could be. Um, gonna going to do a couple of things today. I have needed a clock in this shop for the longest time, so we're gonna make a clock. Um, I also said something last week about doing some color, and in fact, I'm going to do some centrifugal or centrifugal coloring on this. This is my blank. It's a piece of pine. It's 2 by 12, and we're going to use this, make it a clock. We're going to put some paint on it. It's also going to be hung on a wall, so it will fulfill Steve's hashtag week. So a lot of things going on today. Let me open up the camera here and share with you who's with me today. Wayne
Evening,
Clasper.
everybody.
It's always good to have Wayne with us today. May have one or two others show up here in just a few moments. Have any questions? Feel free to put those in the chat. Wayne will either read them out or just answer them straight up or whatever. Um, Anything like that. Bad dad jokes, even. We'll read most of those, I guess, maybe.
Yes, only most, not all.
Yeah, right. Lots of folks in. He'll read out the group. Before he starts, let me just share with you. I've already cut a large mortise in this. This will, well, if I can put my hands on it, this will house my clock works very easily. There's more than enough room. Um, and I'm going to expand these large chucks or these large jaws. If I bring you guys up close, you can see those a little better. Let's go. No, that's not the one I want. That's the one I want. These jaws are extremely thick. These are made for holding bowls, both clamping down as well as expanding. It takes a little larger diameter recess for me to expand in, and a little smaller tenon for me to clamp onto. So we're going to expand into a recess. These jaws will hold extremely well, and so that's what we're going to start off with. In fact, I can just leave it on that camera. Wayne, if you want to start, I'll get set up and we'll get going.
Okay, you want to shove me into the background?
I guess. Oh, I hit that silly button again. Hope I didn't cut you out or cut me out.
No, you're still there.
I finally figured out there's a button on the side of my mouse. If I touch it, it takes me out of StreamYard.
Okay. Right, so in the chat tonight, we've got Andy, Door 60, we've got Larry, we've got Gerard, yourself, Fred Gulliver's in. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Andy's in. Evening, Andy. Brian with a Y. Paul Finley. It's still scrolling down. Todd at Glen Cove. EMGI Woodworks. Shane Hurst.
Shane.
Bob P. from Alexandria, Virginia.
Hey, Bob.
Steve Hill. Paul Hoyton. Clint at Wood Dancers. Jennifer's in. Evening, Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer.
And Ward Wilson as well. Evening, Ward.
Hey, Ward.
Anthony Green. And we're getting towards the bottom now. And I think that's me at the bottom. Yep,
Okay.
it is.
All right. All of us have been seeing a lot of these moisture meters. I've kind of been determined I wasn't going to get one. And I was ordering some other things. And so I went ahead and ordered this as well, just for our curiosity's sake. I know this is dry, but we're going to check it just to see. 10.8 is what it measures at. So it's dry. It was used this was a scrap from a construction site about 100 miles from where I live. And all we're going to do with this, I'm going to, well, if I change the camera again, I can show you. I've got, there they are. I've got two marks here. This is the mark, um, absolute maximum that I can go down to. This is the mark that I want to go to with the face. This is the face side. I'm going to take it down that far, and I may clean up the backside just a little bit, but I'll do that without turning it around. First, I'm going to leave a bit of a center area, just because that will give me a stopping point with my paint here in a minute. But anyway, let's get started. Starting off at 7:05. I've already had this on the lathe and checked it out. At 7:05, it's spinning pretty clear and free, and
You won't see any hiding from the heat. It's been in the 120s this week.
mm, I, I don't like the heat that much.
And Todd said, "Excellent, Bob. It's a little warm in Texas, but that's normal. It beats shoveling snow. Yeah, you don't want to be shoveling snow in this heat."
No, that would be tough.
For those of you in the UK, you might want to have a look on Axminster website because they've got some good bargains at the moment on chucks and lathes.
Was that you or me?
I think that was you.
Must have been. I don't know what it was.
And Mark's just come in. Hiya, Mark.
Hey, Mark. Mark was going to join us, but he's got some orders he has
Yeah,
got to get filled.
he's still at the lathe at the moment.
Yeah.
Yes, Anthony, they've got, I think it's about £90 off the SK100, so I just went and got one of them.
£90 off. That's a pretty good savings.
Yep. Fred Gilliver said he just got his Easy Wood Tools #1 Holloway arrived today from Axminster. Fantastic tool. He hopes he does it justice. Mick Hughes got his today as well. He got the Pro one. And I think Chris SG ordered 3 of them. 3
Oh, my
tools, not
word.
3 followers. Yes, Mark, it's all your fault. Or Mick's fault, one of the two. He was just talking about the price on the chucks there. Where's Roy come in? Hey, Roy's just come in. Evening, Roy.
Hey, Roy. It's good to have all of you with us here today. All right, I think we have cleaned it. We got to sand it. Yeah, it's always amazing to me the color of the stuff that soaks into the wood when it's been sitting around a construction site. I'm going to take just a touch more off that, but I'm going to pull my tool rest out toward me just a hair more. Very close to the edge.
Roy's asked, is the #1 Holloway just for using on bulls? No, Roy. I don't tend to use any of my carbides on bowls. I use the number one hollower for hollowing out vases and boxes. Now, Jamie and Andy AGK, they will use the number one hollower on bowls because they tend to use carbides a lot more than I do. And Todd is wishing everybody a happy 4th of July. And back at you, Todd. And Lucy's just come in. Evening, Lucy.
Hey, Lucy. All right, we're getting close here.
And again, another bit of news as well for those of you in the UK. Emma, the Tiny Turner, is doing a live tomorrow night, which is going to be a fundraising live for the Emerging Turners program. So this is a program for people between 18 and 35 to gain experience with professional turners, so they can go on and maybe become professionals later on. So she's starting at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. I'm still going to be doing my live at 8, but I did share out Emma's post earlier on my Win the Wood Turner Facebook page. Roy, the deepest I go with the mid-size number one hollower is around about 6 to 7 inches. If I'm going any deeper than that, I'll probably go down that far with the mid-size number one, and then any deeper than that, I'll use the number one pro hollower, which is a lot bigger and a lot beefier.
Yeah, you got the number one, and then you got the mini hollower, and then there's the finisher. I was very fortunate as Easy Wood tools were just coming onto the market. The guy who originated it, Craig Jackson, he came to a couple of gatherings that we had, and we got awfully good deals on some of those tools before they were even out on the market. So, like I said, I feel extremely fortunate that I have as many as I do.
I think I missed a couple of people coming in here. Too busy talking. Roger Kent's just come in.
Hey, Roger.
Somebody mentioned Lewis being in. Oh yeah, he's there. Klondike
Hey,
Craftsman.
Lewis.
Lewis is in as well. Evening, Lewis.
Okay, just going. It's got to be plugged in or it doesn't work.
Yeah, I found that.
There we go. Let's give this a bit of a sand up. Keeping that top edge turned up as much as possible. I guess I was just thinking, which is dangerous. I usually have to take an aspirin after I do that. I need to go ahead and take that off because I really don't care about having that natural in the center since this is going to be a clock. So I will go ahead and take it off.
Right now, Roy's saying it's just that he did a 6.5-inch vase and struggled to do the bottom, the inside of it. Another thing you could do, Roy, is if you have a look. I don't know if you've got a modular tool rest or not, but I think both Axminster and Sorby sell a box turn and rest, which is basically just flat and fits inside of ours. obviously depending on the how big the opening is on your vase. Anthony, the only one that we've got similar to the one that Doug's using is you can get a Makita right angle, and I think you can get a DeWalt right angle as well. Mark uses the Makita right angle, but the one that Doug uses, you can't actually get over here, and that's more of about 120-degree angle rather than a 90.
Yes.
And Andrew from AGT is in.
Hey, Andrew. Andrew, you've probably got the link if you want to come in. Okay, that's better. That's better. Turn it back down.
Clinton Wood Dancer said he had a friend make a box rest for him. Mike Sam dances with aardvarks. He's just made a box rest with just a piece of aardvark. And Barry Kitty's just come in.
Hey, Barry. Yeah, this has been a good drill for me. Works great. I don't have to worry about the batteries running out or anything of that nature.
Right, I've forgotten what I was saying myself now, Lucy. Right, I'll wait until Doug's freestanding and then I'll say it again.
Get the last of these tool marks off these corners. Doesn't take a whole lot. I got most of it while it was spinning. That's good enough for now. What was that you were going to say, Wayne?
Right. First off, Roger Kent said, Doug, I'll be passing by you on the 175 on Thursday on his way to Indiana.
Okay.
Right. What I was saying is that Mike Sem, who goes by Dances with Aardvarks, has just made a box rest. So he's making one for me so I can do a review on it and let him know how it works.
I imagine that'll be great. One of our recent Wednesday night club meetings, Mark Soleil, who you may or may not know, was on there, and he was just praising any kind of box rest because it does give you a whole lot more support when you're inside some kind of a hollow form or even a
Oh,
bowl for
definitely.
that matter.
Yeah. Anything else happening? I think I said Ruby was said it come in. So we got 38 in at the moment, Doug.
All right. Good to have all of you with me tonight. With us. It's not just me, it's all of us, isn't it? And Wayne giving up his time, I do appreciate that.
Right, Andy has said, Doug, that he's having trouble with his new laptop at the moment and can't find anything.
Don't know why I'm concerned about the center. It's going to get drilled out here in just a second. We're up to 240 now. One more grit here, and we'll start putting a little color on here. 320. Well,
There's lots of people hitting the little heart logo in the chat.
tremendous. All right, we should be. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Push that back a little bit. Bought this can of paint yesterday. Pulled it off the shelf and started to shake it just to make sure everything was good to go. And it took me 2 or 3 minutes to get the little ball to start rattling. I knew there was paint in it, but it had stuck to the bottom. So once it started, I was good. I was fine. This is a Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover Paint In Primer Ultra Matte. So
There you go.
tell you what, while I'm here, let me just get that little edge right there. Just so we don't
That
have to deal with
little,
it.
just letting Gerard know, that little heart logo's been there a few weeks now. Goldman River Woodturner's just come in.
Hey, Dale. Does have there's a little crack that you can see. I'm not bothered with that. We're really and truly, we are done with the turning. I am going to sand the edges just a little bit here. Lock my spindle down. And that's just to pretty these edges up a little bit. Very little. Yeah, I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to do that later. I can do that with my palm sander, vibrator sander, jitterbug sander, whatever you want to call it. Right now, we're going to spread a little black paint. Then it's going to be kind of like watching grass grow. It's you got to let it dry. But we do have we've got the hack for that, don't we? Use an old hair dryer, but I push the button. I've got an extra button that turns the heat off, so it's just blowing air basically.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, keeps me from taking the chance of blistering that paint. I can let it go every once in a while just to throw a little heat on there and pull it back. Somebody said, "Is that your old hair dryer?" No, it's not my hair dryer. I hate hair dryers. I don't use them except for this. This is the only use I know of for a hair dryer. Back 40 years ago or so, when I was in college, during the winter, there'd be 2 or 3 feet of snow on the ground. I'd go to my first classes in the morning with wet hair. You're gonna get sick. Nah, never did. Never did. All right, we're gonna keep that close. We're gonna put a little more paint on here because I'm not quite covered. It always takes a couple of coats, doesn't it, Wayne?
It does usually.
There we go. And this is pretty good paint. 2 coats, it'll be pretty well taken care of. They make in the same stuff, the 2X, they make and 3X. They make it with it's clear, like a lacquer. I think it's a clear. Um, I'll spit the word out here in a minute. Enamel.
Right,
It does a
Larry's
great
having
job.
to go. He's got family over.
All right, Larry. All right. I think that's black enough for us for tonight. Get a little more air on here.
Right, I've just had a message from Ruby. She's going to be logging in soon.
Okay. Well, it's twice. Okay, it's reflection. I was seeing that reflection right there.
Yeah,
I thought that was a clear spot, and there is a little bit of a place there, but not like it looks like in the on the picture right there. Even there, that's simply reflection. Even though it's flat paint, I guess there's still a little wetness still to it.
and Old Man River Wood Turner is wishing all Americans a safe and happy Independence Day.
Thank you, Dale. All right. I've never done this without having some kind of a center area, um, but that's okay. We're going to do it today. This will be a little bit of experiment, and we've all thought it and probably done it before. If we don't like it, we can take it back off. We'll either sand it or turn it right off. No problem. Tried my box a while ago. My box is not big enough. So it's just going to sling where it slings. Paint I'm using today, well, if I could hold on to it, it went way out of arm's reach. That's okay. I can walk over here and get it. Ah. All right. Show it to you so you can see what it is. This is called Crafter's Closet watercolor paint. Comes in a tray. I don't know, 10 or 12 colors in the tray. Pretty nice paints. I've used it once before and it worked very nicely. Just got to find something to puncture this one. This
Right,
one has not
Lucy's
got
asking
any.
a question. I bet I get this wrong. She is saying, stupid question. How many years ago was the first Independence Day? I believe it was 1777?
1776.
6.
Yes, it was the signing of our Declaration of Independence, not actually
Yeah,
when we,
1776.
yeah, not actually when
I
we
always,
won the
I
war,
always get
but
that a year out.
yeah, easy enough to do. But it's just simply when we made the statement to the king that we were going to be an independent nation. Um, just dabbing some splotches of paint on here. Not worried about it being clean and neat. I'm going to go ahead and turn my speed up. I'm going to write at 1,000. And that may have to get a little faster.
And Mark, the gentleman, Turner said, ungrateful colonials. They didn't like flavoured tea.
Yeah, that might be. Well, I don't know. The places that sell flavored tea now is pretty amazing. Raspberry and peach and all right. Let's spin that out a little better. Ah, that looked like it went better. Either way, we're going to change colors at least for now. We may come back to this yellow. It's better. It's not what I was looking for, but it's better.
And Benjamin's just come in.
Hey, you Ben. All right. Now, last time I did this, I used these same paints, and there's another line of the same thing. They're more metallic colors. And what I found was that they didn't like to be um, thinned. I was using some flow medium, and just didn't like it. And so
All
I
right.
started starting putting the blobs on, and it worked a whole lot better. Well,
So,
maybe I need both.
Ben has just had a £600 vet bill today.
Wow, what's wrong with you, Ben?
Right, Ruby's in the background, Doug.
Okay, I see Miss Ruby. Hello, Ruby.
Hi
Hiya,
there.
Ruby.
Sorry I'm late, but I was across town when I got your message.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I tried to
And how are
send you a
you this
message and
evening?
it wouldn't go.
It's very, very hot here. It's over 30 degrees centigrade.
Oh my life.
Yes,
You want
it's
to
not
shove us
pleasant.
back in the background, Doug? No, now you've got me and Ruby up.
I took me out.
Again.
I think they'd rather see you, Doug.
Nah, nah. Just doing a clock. It's going to be a wall hanging clock from the shop here, Ruby. Doing a
Uh,
little centrifugal painting on it.
Now, are you trying to line these up with where the times would be?
No, not even close. Not even close. That would be
Roy
a
saying
trick.
he's in the chat waiting. Does that count?
Depends on what
If
you're
And
waiting
if
on.
if I can
and
make one suggestion, Doug,
Yes, ma'am.
if you water the paint down a little bit, then dab it on, it'll spread out even better.
I was just talking about that. Um, I used this line of paints before, and I used some flow medium,
That'll do
and
it.
it didn't the colors didn't come through till I started dabbing on blobs of paint, and so that's what I'm doing this time straight away. Just to it's an experiment.
Mark the gentleman Wood Turner has said, "Oh, better get back to work. His boss has just arrived." Hi,
Uh
Ruby.
oh. See that one went really well. Of course, I had a little more water in my brush this time. That was part of the purple running. So Ruby, yes, you're. I was not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that was not my experience last time, but this time it seems to be needing just a little bit. Get a little more water on my brush. I'll put just another. A little more yellow. We'll see about maybe some more green here in just a minute. Because my box isn't quite big enough to protect me, I have to push the button and jump back.
Yeah, I discovered that when I did a demo on something similar, and Pete said, "Well, you sprayed the audience nicely."
Oh, you did it over there?
Yeah,
Okay. That's not looking too bad. Kind of got what I was looking for, purple, green, and gold. Um, it's the colors of my favorite city here in the U.S., New Orleans, Louisiana. It's also the colors of my college fraternity. I think I'll put just a little more purple on there just because. These colors are very inexpensive. They would come from a like a Lidl's or Aldi's, one of those, or Pound Shop. Y'all talk about Pound Shop a lot. That's kind of the same idea.
Yeah. Or the range. The
The
range is
range,
another one.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, very inexpensive items. Like 10 or 12 colors for just a couple dollars. And the other set that I've got are metallics. They were pretty interesting. I was going to let that spin for half a second.
yeah, you are using acrylic paint, aren't you, Doug?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, these are acrylics on black enamel. That the well, where is it? There it is. The paint I use is the Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Matte. So this will come
Okay,
back. We'll come back later and do um, lacquer over the top.
okay. Usually, if you can, you try to make the base to be acrylic, and instead of an enamel, which is oil based,
Mm-hmm.
because water based paints don't tend to go very well over top of oils.
Yeah.
So if you'd used an acrylic black on the background, the paint might actually move better.
It might, if I did high gloss, it moves better.
Now, Roy has just said that he used some flow medium with some Aldi glittering acrylics, but found that the colours came through with longer drying times before applying any lacquer. Or
Mm-hmm.
it took longer to dry before you could apply any lacquer.
Right. Yeah, this will take, this will dry for a day, maybe two, before I even think about putting any lacquer on it. And that's just to give it more of an even gloss across the entire surface. Not that it needs it. Like I said, it's a shop clock. I could not do anything to it and I'd be fine. Didn't need that.
How thick is your piece of wood?
Well, it started out a piece of 2x,
Okay.
and obviously I did that just a little quick. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. It was a piece of 2x12 leftover pine, Ruby, from a construction site.
That's a nice find.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's big enough that I can't get a full turn on my chuck key. There we go. We'll just put this together. What do we got? 40 minutes in. We're great.
And Greg Alexander's just come in. Evening, Greg.
Hey, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
All right. Ruby and I have already had this discussion. This piece is now off the lathe, and so it's okay for me to take my face shield off, right, Ruby?
Correct. Hey, we don't want to spoil your good looks.
Yeah. Hopefully, we're not going to spoil anything. Uh, It ain't much, but it's the only one I got. Okay, I'm gonna put Clockworks in the back side here. There's a chip sticking out. We got that covered. I think for right now we're gonna leave it just the way it is. No, no, what am I doing wrong? I know one thing I'm doing wrong. I got an extra washer on here.
Is this a battery operated clock?
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, yeah, just remembered why I wanted that one mark on the edge. I needed to go that far. I didn't. I failed to go that far. So I've got to take some more out of my recess, and I'll do that off camera. I'll put that on a worm screw right through there. It's about the right size, and I'll take some more out of my recess, and then I can that this arm. This is not the long arm. It's kind of a medium arm
Right.
spindle on this clock. Uh, it's very thin or very short. There are shorter ones. There are definitely longer ones. But I'll reverse this after it dries, put it on a worm screw, and just take a little bit more out of that center area. I did have. I wasn't sure how long this is going to go, but there's only 20 minutes. I don't quite have enough time. Um, I had thought about taking this piece, hollowing it out with a large hole. Back end of it have a much smaller hole, and then that would be a barrel for such as this, so
No
that
party poppers.
a little later on we can have a little party. But anyway, I don't have quite enough time for that. I don't expect it to take very long, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to make sure there's not any questions, and if they're not, we're going to let everybody go a little early today.
Okay.
Did you
Any
see
questions
anything?
from the chat? Anyone?
Well, I think personally it came out pretty colorful.
It's
Oh,
yeah,
definitely colourful.
came
I
out.
think what I
I
like
like it.
about it too is that you limited the number of colors that you used.
Yes, it is easy to get too many, isn't it? It's saying we've talked about it before too. You can do too much texturing even. It's complicated enough, but it's simple enough as well. So
Right.
and it'll hang just over here in front of me so that I can uh, see what time it is without looking at the little tiny clock on my computer.
Now
There,
the
that's the one I'm looking
one
for.
question I have, what do the hands for the clock look like?
They are they are gold, but I may very well paint them. Um, I may paint them white.
Well, you want to make sure they're going to be able to stand out
Yeah,
amongst all those lines.
yeah. That's the other part. They're not very heavy. Um, can you see that actually? I
Not
can't.
very strong.
Yeah, I may go like to Woodcraft or Rockler and buy a little heavier hand. Um, all of these inexpensive clock kits like this, they're kind of universal on the hands and how they go in. So that won't be too big a deal. Get a little heavier, then I can paint them whatever color, whether it's white or silver even. We'll just see what it
Yeah.
looks like once I get them.
You have a Hobby Lobby down your way.
Yes, yes.
You might want to check them because sometimes they have like extra hands
Uh-huh.
that you can
Absolutely.
buy by themselves that are maybe a bigger size that'll still fit.
Absolutely. Hobby Lobby or Michael's is another one, same type
Yeah.
of store. Both do well. Even Joann Fabrics, at least the one here,
Right.
they have a large hobby area. And so they have those kinds of things as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Brian with a Y saying he's got a clock video coming coming up next, published later this week. Great. Gift for your
Oh,
friends. I'm sure they will like
that'll
it.
be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Clocks are like most anything that we do. They do make good gifts, whether it's a clock, a bowl, a platter, pins, um, anything. Boxes are fabulous gifts, and they don't take terrible long time for us to do. So,
Right.
I could spend a whole lot of time on a clock, or I could spend like we did today, 30 minutes on it. And
Yeah. I think the key is how functional it is.
absolutely, absolutely. The clock, you go. Some of y'all know what Walmart is. I went to Walmart and got this clock. I don't know, $4, $5, something like that. It wasn't very much. Stick a AA battery in it, and it'll run for a couple of years. So it's hard to go wrong that way.
Yeah, if you get a good lithium battery, they tend to last longer than just
Hmm.
regular.
Yeah, lithium probably lasts 4 or 5 years. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you,
Yeah,
Dor, Fred,
Roy,
Gerard.
Roy's just put in there that use some. I'm sure he's talking about gold leaf size on the hands and put some pigment on.
That's a thought. That's a thought. Use some of the color shifting pigment on there. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be cool. I just happen to have some right close. I really like that. I was down at the store earlier today. They thought there was going to be a mad rush. There was a parade in that town. Took all of about 20 minutes for the parade to go by, so it wasn't much of a parade. But the store owner was expecting tons of people to come in, so she asked all of us vendors to come in. I went down there and wasn't anything, but I saw my mushroom that I put those chameleon colors on, and it still looks good. I see it from all the way down the
Good.
hallway. That hallway's what 45, 50 feet long, and my booth is about 40 feet down the hall, 50 feet down the hallway. Not 50. Well, it might be close to. It's 40 feet anyway. But I could see those chameleon colors all the way down the hall. Looked
Oh,
great. Yeah,
catches
it
the
is.
eye as soon as you come in.
It does. It does. They kept hollering, "You got to have mushrooms. Got to have mushrooms." So I took 5 down. The first 5 I made, ran them down there, and lo and behold, they haven't. Not a one of them has sold. People, people pick them up. They look at them, but then they put them back. Just there are days
so
like that.
Roy has got a video. I don't know when he made this because Roy's been doing videos for quite a while now. But he made a clock out of a lawnmower recoil cover.
Oh my!
That'd be interesting.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've used old table saw blades. I've done a lot out of table saw blades. Um, Made one out of a frisbee one time. Um, Golly, it's been a while since I've done them. I can't even think what I've used. Yeah, these little clock kits. The trick is to get the section that the stem comes through to be the right thickness, so that
Right.
you have a couple of turns on that nut that goes on the top. Once you got
Yeah.
that, it's all gravy. It's all gravy.
Well, I'll just show you one that my neighbor brought over for me to repair. She broke the clock part, so I'm waiting on a new clock to come in. But
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yes, yeah, I remember that one.
Is that some toll painting on there?
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
So
I'm
when I
glad you
get the
came along so
part,
you could show us.
well, I just happened to be sitting here on the dining room table.
Sure. One of
So
the one of the former owners of the store I'm in, she had brought in a copper, looked like a copper skillet kind of thing with a long handle. It had about an 18-inch, 24-inch handle on it. And I thought, oh, that must be a bed warmer without the lid. And she says, no, go look at it a little closer. I went over, and it was just a little pan, a copper pan made to be a clock. That's all it was for. But the
Wow.
clock mechanism was totally gone. I said, if you'll let me take that, I will put a clock into it, and you can raise the price by $40. So she agreed. I took it, and I spent $5 on it. And a little bit of time, and lo and behold, she put the same price back on it, and it never did sell. So she ended up taking it
Oh.
home when she left the store.
And Roy said he has sent one across to Canada as a competition prize.
Good, good.
And Brent Beecroft's just come in.
Hi, Brent.
Hey, Brent.
I see Jim
Lewis
Sprague is
is
here.
back in. Lewis is back in. He had to pop out for a while.
Yeah, just in time for us to say bye, right, Lewis? That's okay. We are going to go ahead and kick this one off, and I'll do some work on this. I'll show it on Facebook and Instagram when I get it completed. Ruby, thank you for coming in last minute. I know you were across town and had to run home real quick, but we do appreciate you coming in. And Wayne, as always, thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
No problem, Doug. Anytime.
All you folks in the chat, thanks for coming along. I hope you've had a good time. I hope maybe something triggered a little, I don't know, a thought or an idea, something to give you an idea of something to do next time you're in the shop. Until we get to meet again, you guys, I hope you are able to spin them around and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Night night.
Stay cool if you can.